Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to today's video for Legends of Runeterra. Today is the last day of spoiler season. Tomorrow is the set release for Guardians. Well, how's the set looking? It looks pretty good. As for the cards today, I believe we've seen 3 cards today that are spoiled. Irelia is one of them though, so there is a lot to unpack here. And it seems like, in my opinion, Aurelia might be the strongest of the champions that were revealed. So enough talking, let's go and take a look at the cards that were revealed today. Okay, here we go. First off, Aurelia. 3-minute 3-2 with quick attack. That alone is already pretty decent. Very similar to Zed. The text says, when I'm summoned or round start, if you have the attack token, create a flawless duet in hand. Level up, 12 allies have attacked. Flawless Duet is a 1-mana slow speed spell that also has fleeting, and it says Blade Dance 2. Okay, not bad, not bad. Pretty good, nice, aggressive card. Very, like I said, very similar to Zed in terms of being a 3-2 with quick attack, but I think probably a little bit better than Zed. Now, what does Aurelia do when she levels up? She becomes a 3-mana 4-3, so +1/+1 like normal. She still has quick attack and still has the creation of flawless duets like her level 1 form. The only difference is now that when allies attack, create a Blade Surge in hand. So this includes if you Blade Dance on your opponent's turn when they have the attack token. So you'll get Blade Surges. So now your Blade Dancing creates Blade Surges, and Blade Surge at the top right, as you can see, a 0-mana burst spell with fleeting that says swap Aurelia with an ally. So the synergy is you Blade Dance, have an unblocked blade, Blade Surge to get Aurelia in to get some damage. If your opponent maybe blocks one of the blades, you can Blade Surge to switch Aurelia out for the blade to try to get a nice kill. If your opponent tries to use removal on your Aurelia, use Blade Surge to swap Aurelia and some other units so your opponent can't kill Aurelia. It's a really good leveled up form. Now, I will say I don't think it's game winning like certain leveled up forms. Like, it's no Zoe, level 2 Zoe, but I do really like this. It does remind me actually a lot of Zed's level 2 as well, where yes, it's good, but it's not insane. But it is really, really good. I think it is better. I think Aurelia is just better than Zed overall. And Blade Surge is really, really good for increasing her survivability. And sure, yes, I know all the arguments, Culling Strikes, Brittle Steels, Troll Chance, Mystic Shots, they all kill Aurelia or try to deal with Aurelia cleanly. But since we're still on the Zed comparison train, the nice thing about Aurelia is she doesn't have to attack, unlike Zed. Zed has to get in there to do damage. Aurelia, if you feel like your opponent might have some kind of combat trick like a Hush or a Troll Chant or something, or maybe a Sharp Sight or whatever, just hold Aurelia back and Flawless Duet or Blade Dance some other way. Work towards leveling her up, because then if you level her up and your opponent's like, okay, I'll try to Hush Aurelia, I'll try to freeze Aurelia, at that point you can try and use Blade Surge to protect Aurelia as well, along with all the other things you have, of course, such as maybe Twin Disciplines, Notifies. I'm probably forgetting a thing. Maybe some other cards from other regions you have. Syncopation, the 2-mana burst speed spell that swaps 2 allies we saw yesterday. That's also pretty good. I mean, that card's just nuts in general. Very flexible, very cheap, insanely good. But yeah, speaking more about Aurelia, who do we pair her up with? Azir. We talked about this earlier, but now that we actually know what Aurelia does, we can talk more about Aurelia. And I think Azir or Misfortune are the 2 best champions to pair with Aurelia. Azir to try and level up Azir really quickly thanks to summoning blades. Also leveled up Azir with the blades to buff the blades is really cute. Misfortune and to a lesser extent Quinn to try and get a really quick level up on them is also really, really nice. So I really like her. No idea how much I'll play of her, but I think she's really, really good. Now, what else about Irelia though? There's a lot I can talk about here. I'm just trying to think like what I can say next. I should create scripts when I do these things. But I don't want to have these things scripted. But yeah, you use like flawless duet, and then your actual attack that will help level up Misfortune and Azir, of course, really, really quickly. So what are we looking for when we're trying to build Irelia, in my opinion? I think there are three things that we're trying to get in terms of synergy. Either board swarm synergies, summoning synergies, because you're summoning a lot of blades, or I'd say third is probably just some kind of weird swapping synergy to make use of like syncopate, but that's not really too focused on Aurelia. So yeah. In terms of her level up though, like I said earlier, I think it's strong, but it's not like a game-winning level up. You're not gonna try hard for this, but it is nice that she doesn't have to see all of the allies attacking to level up. So she can level up in hand and in deck. As for how fast I think she levels up, I don't know. I think she'd level up fastest in probably an Azir deck because you're also summoning Sand Soldiers along with Blades. So maybe around somewhere between turn 6 to 8. If you play Aurelia on curve and you cast every single flawless duet you draw or create, I think is probably like the fastest. I don't know what the fastest is. I have no idea. I have no idea what the math looks like. But yeah, I think Aurelia is really going to bring a lot of power to Ionia, which Ionia has been needing for a long time. Sadly, it's more power for more of a aggressive tempo-based Ionia, which is not what I like. I prefer controlling Ionia, which has been kind of sad for a long time now. Anyway, though, next card is what? Lead and Follow. 2 mana fast spell, recall an ally to create a flawless duet in hand. Very similar card to Retreat, in my opinion. That is a 2 mana recall an ally to create a fleeting return in hand, which is the 1 mana summon a 3 cost unit from your hand. I believe that's what it says at burst speed. I don't know about this card. It's weird. It's like most of the time I'd rather just play Retreat, I feel. Now, maybe this is my control mind thinking, but I think Retreat is just overall better in general for a Ionia deck. But if you're playing Aurelia, of course, or if you just care about summoning synergy and blade dance in general, you might play this as well instead of Retreat. So I do think this we'll see play in that type of deck, but only that type of deck. But I do think this card is actually decent. You can use it proactively as well. Unlike Retreat. Retreat's mostly a reactive card. You use Retreat when your opponent tries to remove a unit. You can use Lead and Follow to recall an ally, and then you get the free attack with the Blade Dance, or the Flawless Duet Blade Dance, and that might level up your Misfortune, or even your Aurelia, or your Azir, or whatever. Pretty good card. But I think only like maybe a 2 of at most in certain decks, maybe a 3 of in Aurelia decks, because it also helps protect Aurelia. Anyway, not many cards today. It's not much to talk about. But yeah, we've talked about Blade Surge because that's part of Aurelia. We've talked about Lead and Follow. We've talked about Aurelia. So the last card to talk about, Aurelia's Vanguard Edge, a champion spell. I think it's bad. I'm sorry. I know. It's so the way I look at this is I think the card itself is bad, but I think as a champion spell, it's fine, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like a Diana where like her champion spell is Pale Cascade, so it's like great champion spell and just a great card in general. I'm seeing this more of like I'm trying to think of a champion on the top of my head. I'm really drawing a blank here. Like, I guess Azir, if we want to keep talking about Azir. Azir's champion spell is Arise. Arise is kind of a bad card, but as a champion spell, it's not bad. Like, I would not put Vanguard's Edge in any of my decks, in my opinion. But if I have 2 Aurelias and I have 1 on board already, having a Vanguard's Edge in hand isn't the worst. So what does it actually do? It says 7 mana slow speed spell. Blade Dance 3, that's a lot of blades. Pick an ally to attack with the blades. create an Aurelia in your deck. That's just because chance spell, of course. It's pretty cool. You use the idea is, I assume you'd use Vanguard's Edge on either something with quick attack like Aurelia herself, or something with elusive like Green Glade Duo, like I believe they showed in the trailer for Aurelia. But again, I think it's too much mana. It's like pseudo rally, I guess, is a good way of describing it, because it's not really a rally, but it's like half of a rally, because you are kind of attacking in with one of your units that you choose, of course. And the blades, they're whatever. And I guess if you maybe have an Aurelia that's leveled up, and maybe you will get a blade surge, so you can switch out a blade for an Aurelia, so that's cute too. But these are all very specific scenarios that I don't think you should try to build a deck around Vanguard's Edge, and you shouldn't play Vanguard's Edge, in my opinion. So, just don't put it in your deck. Anyway, though, I don't know. What are my closing thoughts on this deck and this archetype and these cards? I like them. While I'm not an aggressive aggro player, I like that this archetype's getting a little help. It's felt like for a long time, aggro has kind of just been Noxus stuff, like Noxus PNZ, Noxus Bilgewater, and I do like that some non-Noxus cards are, some non-Noxus regions are getting some support here. Now, like I said, what region do you want to pair Ionia with for an Aurelia deck? Again, maybe Shurima for Azir, but I do really think that Bilgewater with Misfortune has a very strong argument to be made for getting paired with Aurelia instead of Azir. Besides Misfortune, ignoring Misfortune, even though she's probably the main reason you pair Aurelia with Bilgewater, Jagged Taskmaster. If you don't know what that card is, it is the 2-mana 3/2, I believe it is the stat line. Plunder, grant 1-cost allies everywhere, +1/+0. That'll basically just say your blades are now 2/1s for the rest of the game. Sure, it doesn't sound impressive, but if you can also build your deck around this card, like, this also makes your, Dancing Droplet? I think that's the name of the card, the 1/1 elusive, now is a 2/1 as well. 1-mana 2/1 elusive with a tune, and the whole getting cards drawn when you summon it. Very, very cute. Now, is that actually good? Only time will tell, I think. So, yeah. I really do like Misfortune with Aurelia. It seems really cool and really strong. I don't think it's going to be a tier 1 deck. I don't think Aurelia aggro, Aurelia tempo, whatever you want to call this deck, is going to be tier 1. I think it might be a solid tier 2. As the current top tier decks are really, really strong right now. Nasus Thresh just got a small nerf, but I think it's still really good. Lysandra Trundle is both a control deck that has really good AoE, and it finishes games really quickly, so I think Aurelia is going to struggle against that, because, Withering Wail, Vile Feast, etc., etc. And then Avalanche against Aurelia is sad too, so not sure. But again, who knows? Maybe Aurelia will be tier 1 and need a nerf. Maybe Aurelia will be absolute garbage and unplayable. But yeah, I think this kind of like swarmy, multiple attack payoff kind of deck can really make a splash in the meta. Anyway, though, maybe you have a differing opinion. Maybe you can think of a champion that I haven't thought of that Aurelia pairs well with. I'd love to hear any opinion you have. But if you just enjoyed the video in general, though, it'd be really nice if you could leave a like or a comment down below. Always helps me out and all that. And if you want to keep up with the content, you can always go and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to catch me playing some Legends of Runeterra, you can always go and check me out over on my Twitch account at twitch.tv/Sanitin. I stream there pretty much every single day. Anyway, though, with that all said and done, thank you all once more for watching this episode. And until I see you guys in the next one. Next episode. Well, whatever. I can't do my outro right. But yeah, thank you all for watching this video, and until I see you guys in the next one, bye!